He's a piece of work, man. He always puts somebody in front of him. When Jada came for him, he put Beanie in front of him. When Cam came for him, he put True Life in front of him. And he just didn't.
Yeah, because in the statement they mentioned his,
you talking Jay?
His daughter
Gotcha.
would, being old enough to, because she about 13.
Right.
So it's this.
After 50 Cent wouldn't stop taking shots at Jay-Z, Jay finally lost his cool. He came back swinging, blowing up phones with angry calls, firing off cease and desist letters, and warning he'd shut 50 down for good if he kept pushing it. But one threat from Jay hit so hard, it froze 50's entire camp in disbelief. That's when this feud turned into something way bigger than just jokes online. Let's break down how it all started. The mockery that kicked everything off. To understand why Jay-Z went at 50, you gotta look at what sparked it. And yeah, 50 took it way too far. He flipped one of Jay-Z's darkest moments into his own content goldmine. Back in December 2024, a civil lawsuit was refiled that named Jay-Z in a highly sensitive accusation involving a 13-year-old at an after-party following the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards.
A piece of work, man. He always put somebody in front of him. When Jada came for him, he put Beanie in front of him. When Cam came for him, he put True Life in front of him. And he just didn't compete.
No one's scared of 50 Cent. Just want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
If we looked at the numbers,
Yes.
then you feel like I did his entire career in 4 years. What he did in 15, I did in 4.
Jay instantly denied the whole thing. He called the claims blackmail and promised to expose attorney Tony Busby. His lawyer, Alex Spiro, filed motions right away, moving to crush the case before it went anywhere. Jay stayed close to family, showing up to the Mufasa The Lion King premiere with Beyonce and their kids, keeping a brave face while the headlines exploded everywhere. But 50, he was watching every move unfold like a movie, and when he sees chaos, he dives in. On December 10th, 2024, 50 dropped an AI-generated video on Instagram that showed Jay-Z in a tux getting cuffed by police at a fancy party, ending up behind bars with a wine glass in hand. The caption said, "I want to post this, but I'm afraid I'm going to get shot, LOL." He posted it, deleted it, but it was too late. The internet ran wild with it. The clip went viral on X, Reddit, YouTube, and got picked up by Forbes, Page 6, and even the Daily Mail. Suddenly, Jay-Z's name was everywhere, and not for music, but for controversy. The timing couldn't have been worse, with those allegations still fresh and dominating every headline in hip-hop. But 50 wasn't done, not even close. He came for Jay's Mufasa premiere next, clowning him for walking the red carpet with his family while facing the accusations, hinting that Jay was trying to act normal while his reputation burned in public. Then 50 took it even further. He aimed at the Super Bowl. Since Jay's company, Rock Nation, runs the NFL halftime show, 50 went on social media saying, "Okay, I don't know what's going on, but are we still having a Super Bowl?" asking for a friend. Everyone assumed that friend was Kendrick Lamar, the halftime headliner that year. That post hit 2 targets at once. It reminded everyone that Jay-Z's power moves reach way beyond music and fashion, all the way into the biggest sports league in America. And it threw shade on how deep the fallout could go, hinting that these accusations might mess with Jay-Z's business empire, not just his personal image. The NFL, known for cutting ties with controversy in a heartbeat, doesn't play when scandals hit. So when 50 Cent started poking at Jay-Z, he was basically daring the public to ask, would the league eventually do the same to Jay-Z and Rock Nation? That question alone was explosive. Every post 50 dropped was like a precision strike, built to grab attention, rack up engagement, and slice deeper into Jay-Z's image with every hit. He wasn't making accusations himself, he was doing something way smarter, turning the accusations into a joke. That move kept the story alive far longer than any headline ever could. By clowning around with it, he made sure Jay-Z's name stayed trending even after the legal news began to fade away. Then came the Bombshshell interview. In December 2024, 50 sat down on Big Boy TV, and the energy was tense. The talk turned to the lawsuit, Jay-Z's public denial, and what 50 really thought of the whole mess. He didn't go full attack mode, but he definitely didn't hold back either. With his signature smirk, he used one of his old go-to lines about Jay-Z, twisting it just enough to sting. But then 50 switched gears, and things got personal. He brought up Jay-Z's daughter, pointing out that she was around the same age as the alleged victim mentioned in the lawsuit. He suggested that Jay's statement to the press felt too polished at first, almost scripted, until halfway when, according to 50, Jay finally let his real emotions break through the legal talk. It was a bold, risky move, and it made the whole situation even messier.
But Jay definitely not that. That's definitely not. It's just being competitive.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I look at it, I go, whoa. So I always go into what would I do in a situation like this? Like when that type of thing happens, like, and I'm going, I don't know. I hope things are all right for him internally.
50 Cent tore into Jay-Z's public statement, calling it straight up combative. He said the tone sounded like Jay had snapped, like he couldn't hold back anymore, breaking through what a PR team would normally control. 50 pointed out that no lawyer would ever talk that way to another lawyer, and no publicist would sign off on a line like, "You're gonna find out how I handle this." According to 50, that was Jay-Z going off script, pure emotion, no filter. Whether 50 meant it as sharp analysis or just another layer of trolling, the point landed hard because it rang true. Jay's statement was unusually fiery, not the careful, lawyer-approved language you expect from a billionaire mogul. It read like something written by a man who felt personally attacked, not like a PR release drafted to calm things down. But in a surprising twist, 50 showed a flicker of what looked like empathy, or at least understanding. He hinted that behind all the headlines, this was still a family issue, not just a brand crisis. When he said he hoped Jay was holding up internally, it hit different. And when he mentioned Jay-Z's daughter, it didn't come off as cruel. It was like he was pointing out how deep this whole thing had gotten, showing the clash between public spectacle and private reality. Still, the damage was done, and it was spreading fast. Memes, clips, and AI videos flooded every social platform, creating numbers no news outlet could dream of. The AI video alone racked up millions of views from people who had never even read a single article about the lawsuit. And that Super Bowl comment, it planted real doubt about Jay's NFL ties. Reporters started digging, wondering if the Roc Nation NFL partnership was really on shaky ground. Then came the interview clips, cut down into 2-minute highlights and reposted across hundreds of YouTube and TikTok channels. Suddenly, people who didn't even follow hip-hop drama were sucked in, watching like it was their favorite reality show. 50 Cent's moves weren't random. Every jab, every post, every joke was part of a calculated play to keep Jay-Z's name spinning in the spotlight while he stayed one step ahead of the story. It all fit into a formula 50 Cent had been mastering for over 20 years. Spot a weak moment, twist it with humor, and hide behind a label of just entertainment.
We don't have those kind of relationships. These people are people I associate with. We are in the same business. We are not necessarily friends. We don't call each other for no reason. It's not like we have something against each other to make us enemies. Me and Jay will use each other repeatedly for energy. And that's it for 50 Cent versus Jay-Z.
He never outright said Jay-Z was guilty of anything, not once. Instead, he built an atmosphere where Jay's name and the scandal became impossible to separate, no matter what the court said. That's 50 Cent's territory, a world where perception beats proof, where viral jokes hit harder than lawsuits, and where laughter can destroy more than a diss track ever could. It's the arena where 50 Cent doesn't just survive, he rules. This was the mockery, this was the pressure, and this was the spark that pushed Jay-Z to strike back, quietly but powerfully. See, Jay didn't rant on Instagram, he didn't hop on a podcast, and he didn't drop a diss track or sneak in a shady lyric. He didn't even mention 50 Cent's name in public. But behind the curtain, he moved like a chess master. According to reports from entertainment insiders, YouTube analysts, and Instagram leakers, Jay-Z went on the offensive privately. His strategy was cold, careful, and meant to hit 50 where it hurt without giving him a single meme-worthy soundbite in return. The first major move? A direct phone call. Sources claim that either Jay-Z himself or a trusted intermediary speaking on his behalf reached out to 50 Cent directly. The goal? To confront him about what Jay's camp called false narratives being spread through social media posts and interview clips. But this wasn't some friendly OG to OG talk between rap legends, not at all. Even 50 later admitted in interviews that the energy on those calls was intense, aggressive even. He described the messages as warnings, the kind that carry real weight, coming from a man whose reputation is priceless and non-negotiable. Those calls reportedly zeroed in on 3 things: the AI video, the mocking captions, and the suggestive post that made Jay look guilty by implication. Jay's camp wanted it stopped now. Then came move number 2, the legal hit. Reports surfaced that cease and desist letters were fired off from Jay-Z's legal squad straight to 50's camp. These weren't soft, polite letters either. They demanded that 50 immediately shut down the social media content, delete anything that implied guilt, and stop fueling the controversy altogether. It was clear, Jay-Z wasn't trying to clap back online. He was taking it to the boardroom level, making power moves that couldn't be memed or mocked. The next target in Jay-Z's quiet counteroffensive was that documentary 50 Cent had been teasing, the one he hinted would expose the real story behind Jay's controversies. Jay caught wind of it fast, and according to multiple insider reports, he wasn't about to let that project see the light of day. The third and most powerful layer of Jay-Z's counteroffensive was all about influence, and Jay has plenty of it. Word began circulating on gossip-driven outlets and entertainment commentary pages that Jay was ready to unleash his full industry power if 50 tried to move forward with any Jay-Z-centered documentary. And these weren't idle threats. Sources claim Jay made it crystal clear if 50 kept pushing that film, he'd face a massive lawsuit or even financial fallout that could hit hard. The warnings didn't come directly from Jay himself, though. They reportedly came through his legal representatives, keeping him strategically shielded while still sending a message loud and clear. That message? Simple but deadly. Touch my name and you'll pay for it.
Hey, look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies, those trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man.
Any Jay-Z documentary that tried to move forward would have been buried under so many lawsuits it would collapse before a single frame got filmed. The message was clear. If you even try it, you're going to spend more on lawyers than on cameras. Now, none of these reported moves were ever officially confirmed by Jay-Z, Roc Nation, or anyone from his team. But that silence, that was the move. Jay's whole playbook has always been built around one simple rule. Real power moves in silence. He never explains himself to the public, never gives critics the satisfaction of a response, and never drops sound bites that could be used against him later. This is classic Jay-Z strategy, the same pattern he's followed for decades. When Jadakiss came for him back in the early 2000s, Jay didn't jump into the ring himself. He let Beanie Siegel step in and handle the smoke. When Cameron pushed their feud, Jay didn't trade diss tracks. He let his circle and business network take care of it, staying patient while everyone else burned out. Fast forward to 2024 and 2025, and the story repeated. Only this time, the surrogates weren't rappers or street soldiers. They were attorneys. The new battleground wasn't radio beefs or freestyle battles. It was the legal system. But here's the twist. 50 Cent wasn't scared at all. He'd been studying Jay's playbook for years and had built a full-on critique of it. Whenever someone asked, 50 said Jay never fights directly, that he always puts barriers between himself and the people coming for him. This version of Jay-Z, the man who never gets his hands dirty, who lets lawyers, managers, and corporate power shields do the talking, that's exactly how 50 saw the situation in 2024 and 2025. To 50, those phone calls were just a modern-day version of putting Beanie Siegel on stage to send a message. The cease and desist letters, that was like Jay letting his Rockefeller crew handle the heat back in the day. And those legal threats, 50 saw them as the corporate equivalent of when Def Jam worked overtime to outmaneuver Interscope during the legendary 50 Cent versus Kanye West sales showdown. To 50, it was history repeating itself. Same chessboard, just different pieces, and he wasn't about to fold to it. The tools might have changed, but the strategy stayed the same. In 50 Cent's eyes, that was Jay-Z's real attack. Jay didn't throw punches in public. He made his moves in the dark. Every hit came from behind closed doors, through channels the public couldn't see, and resources most artists could only dream of having. It was quiet warfare. No headlines, no quotes, no fingerprints, just pressure, perfectly applied where it hurt most. This wasn't just another spat between two icons. It was another chapter in a decades-long rivalry that had been brewing since the late 1990s. Their clash in December 2024 was just the latest eruption in a feud that had shaped both men's reputations for over 20 years. Two kings from New York with completely different styles, destined to collide again and again. It all started way back in April 1999 when Curtis 50 Cent Jackson dropped his wild breakout track, How to Rob. In it, he joked about robbing some of the biggest rappers in the game, and yes, Jay-Z was one of the names. The record set the industry on fire. Jay, already a heavyweight, didn't let it slide. The two crossed paths backstage at Hot 97 Summer Jam, where Jay confronted 50 face-to-face before firing back in a line in It's Hot, Some Like It Hot. 50 didn't back down. He clapped back with Be a Gentleman, locking in what would become a fierce but calculated rivalry between two of hip-hop's most strategic minds. By 2003, things had shifted. 50 had exploded into global fame with Get Rich or Die Trying, shaking the entire rap world. Jay-Z saw the momentum and played it smart, teaming up with 50 on tours, sharing magazine covers, and even securing a Reebok deal that reportedly made 50 more money than Jay made from his own sneaker line. But that temporary alliance didn't last long. When Jay-Z dropped the Black Album and Unending released Beg for Mercy in November 2003, it turned into a straight-up commercial showdown. Jay-Z might have taken the first week's sales win, but 50's Unending ended up outselling him worldwide, a quiet reminder that the student was coming for the teacher's throne. What began as playful competition had now evolved into a full-on chess match between two empire builders, one fighting loud and raw, the other playing silent but deadly. That sales showdown became a bragging right 50 Cent would keep throwing out for years. After that, Jay-Z stepped back from recording and took on the role of Def Jam president, shifting from rapper to executive power player, while 50 kept dominating the charts and the streets, sitting on top of the commercial world. Two kings, now ruling from different thrones, but the tension never really died down. By 2007, the fire was back. 50 sparked a headline-making showdown with Kanye West, who just so happened to be signed under Def Jam, Jay-Z's label. What looked like a fun sales competition quickly turned into a proxy war. 50 claimed Jay was secretly backing Kanye and stacking the deck against him. Then, by 2009, the rivalry was back in full-blown hostile mode. Both men started throwing lyrical jabs again, and the shots weren't subtle. Jay-Z brushed off any idea of being scared of 50, acting completely unbothered in interviews, while 50 clapped back harder, calling out Jay's toughness and teaming up with former Rockefeller member Beanie Siegel to question Jay's business moves and character. The competition had officially turned personal, and neither one was backing down.
Through every chapter of their long-running feud, 50 Cent kept one clear message about what was really going on between him and Jay-Z, and he laid it out perfectly in a 2011 MTV News interview. His words became the ultimate summary of their dynamic ever since. The energy between them was always competitive, provocative, and razor-sharp, just messy enough to grab headlines, but controlled enough to avoid total destruction. That delicate balance defined their rivalry for nearly 2 decades. While 50 thrived on loud chaos, interviews, social media taunts, and non-stop trolling, Jay-Z played the opposite game. His style was quiet but deadly, built on precision and timing. He didn't need rants or viral moments, just one clever line or a calm, calculated statement that could cut just as deep. Jay's responses were few but sharp, and every time he spoke, fans and insiders knew it was intentional. The first and most legendary example came way back in 1999 when Jay-Z clapped back at 50's breakout track How to Rob. In that song, 50 had playfully name-dropped Jay among other rap stars he'd rob. Jay's answer came fast, a slick punchline in It's Hot, Some Like It Hot, where he rapped, "I'm about $1, what the f is 50 Cent?" That one bar did more than just diss a newcomer. It set the tone. It framed 50 as small change compared to Jay's empire, making it clear that Jay-Z saw him as competition, but beneath his level. From that moment on, Jay's go-to move became minimalization, never giving 50 the full fight he wanted, just enough recognition to sting. Even a decade later, when 50 was running the rap game and dominating the charts, Jay couldn't resist sliding in another jab, this time on A Star Is Born. The line went, 50 came through like hurricanes do. On paper, it sounded neutral, even respectful, but fans read between the lines. Jay was basically saying that 50's success hit hard, shook things up, but eventually would fade away, just like a storm that passes. Then came 2009, when their tension hit a new level in a BBC interview that went viral across the culture. The interviewer brought up 50's claim that other artists were scared to share a stage with him. Jay-Z didn't flinch. He shut it down instantly with calm authority, dropping a quote that would go down as one of the most defining moments in their feud. His coolness, his restraint, and his ability to turn a few words into power plays became his secret weapon, a total contrast to 50's loud, confrontational energy. It was chess versus boxing, and both were masters at their game. No one is scared of 50 Cent. I want everyone to be clear, no one's scared of 50 Cent. Jay-Z dropped that line calm and cool, but it hit like a knockout. No theatrics, no shade, just a clean dismantling of 50's tough guy image, reducing him from industry intimidator to just another rival in the game. That moment summed up Jay's entire approach: quiet precision. He didn't match 50's loud energy or constant trolling. Instead, his strategy was sharp, surgical, and rare. When Jay spoke, it was only to remind everyone he saw the shots and chose exactly when and how to respond. But beneath all the memes, AI videos, and wild interviews, this feud has always been about business. Both men turned hip-hop into empires, and both wanted to prove their method was the blueprint. Even 50 once admitted in a talk with Brian J. Roberts that Jay-Z might be the better businessman, but he drew a hard line between them. Jay-Z runs on polished corporate precision. 50 runs on grit, instinct, and fearless hustle. Their beef isn't just personal, it's two business philosophies colliding in real time. Jay-Z only partners with artists once they're already proven. Every collaboration starts as a business deal, not a mentorship. 50 Cent, on the other hand, plays it differently. He treats his artists like family, investing time, money, and emotion, even when it cuts into his profits. That difference isn't just about personality, it's the root of their clash. Jay-Z sees 50's growing documentary empire as a real business threat, not just another round of trolling. 50 isn't some rapper clinging to headlines. He's built himself into a media boss with major partnerships on platforms like Netflix and Starz. His hit series Power, BMF, For Life, and now The Reckoning proved he can greenlight shows, pull big talent, and lock in massive audiences. He's not just competing in hip-hop anymore, he's running a content empire that rivals Hollywood itself. By 2008, 50 Cent had already out-earned Jay-Z on the Forbes hip-hop list, pulling in an incredible $150 million, while Jay came in at $82 million. Their rivalry was never just about music. It's always been a battle over who wins at everything: money, power, and influence. Now, that competition has moved into the media world, the newest arena in their long-running war. 50's growing production empire directly challenges the image Jay-Z has built, the story of the rapper turned billionaire through corporate deals, streaming ventures, luxury liquor brands, and of course, his high-profile marriage to Beyoncé, one of the most powerful women in entertainment. 50 has never been shy about what he thinks drives Jay-Z's public image. Across countless interviews, he's repeated the same belief that Jay-Z's rise from rapper to cultural icon wasn't just built on music, but was supercharged by his marriage to Beyoncé. Whether that's fair or not is still a hot debate in hip-hop. Some say Jay's empire is pure business genius. Others claim his marriage amplified it. But what's undeniable is that 50 truly believes it. In his eyes, Jay-Z's strength comes from institutions, alliances, and connections, not the raw, street-level grind 50 prides himself on. In 50's worldview, Jay doesn't just play the game, he owns the system. In Jay-Z's worldview, something he's laid out through his books, interviews, and lyrics over the last 30 years, 50's style is chaotic and short-sighted. Jay sees 50's moves as trading long-term power for quick clicks, burning bridges for buzz, and mistaking engagement for real influence. As of early 2026, there's no sign this rivalry is cooling off. Not publicly, not privately. 50 keeps dropping posts and memes that drag Jay's name through the mud, while Jay sticks to his trademark silence, reportedly working his legal channels and industry ties behind the scenes. The lawsuit that sparked this latest feud has already been dismissed and then twisted into countersuits until it basically vanished. But that didn't stop the noise. Online, opinions are split.
Some say 50's obsession is personal, pointing to his own past legal controversies, including 2013 domestic allegations and claims from his ex Daphne Joy in 2024, as proof that he's using Jay-Z's name for attention. Others argue the opposite, that 50's just doing what no one else dares to do, calling out powerful people in an industry that usually protects its elite. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, right in that messy space where ego, business, and entertainment have always collided in the never-ending saga of Jay-Z versus 50 Cent. 50 Cent said it years ago, and it still stands as the perfect summary of one of hip-hop's longest rivalries. They're not friends, they're not enemies. They just feed off each other's energy until there's none left to take. After more than 25 years of tension, that statement still defines them. 50 Cent has the platforms, audience, and media reach to keep this story alive for as long as he wants. Jay-Z, on the other hand, has the lawyers, influence, and quiet power to fight back in ways the public never sees. Both men are armed, strategic, and stubborn, and neither looks ready to blink first. This feud doesn't keep going because they need it. It continues because it's part of who they are. They've built legacies that thrive on competition, and stopping now would mean giving up a piece of that identity. So what happens next? Nobody knows, and that's exactly why everyone keeps watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to keep up with more wild stories like this.